I'm sat in the car with Mr. Chris Ramsey, who has just come back from doing the Mongol Rally, and as always we thought we'd utilise his services. He's given me a lift into Leicester to pick up a car for Jonathan of Eco Cars that is probably ultimately going to end up in Orkney, and I thought I'd just use this opportunity to have a chat about what he's been through, how it's been, how the car's performed, and basically how he feels about being at home. What does it feel like to be back in the UK after doing 10,000 miles?
It's good to be back home.
Straight on.
Yeah, we'll go straight on. Yeah, so it's good to be back in the UK.
Yeah.
It's really weird because being on some of the roads and some of the conditions we've been in, it's good to see how lucky we are.
Yes.
Because these roads here in the UK are actually brilliant.
Yes.
But being back on UK soil, it's just nice to be back where we can speak the English language.
Yes.
And that sounds a bit horrible, but it's been amazing meeting all these people. But it's just nice to not have the hassle of like having to Google Translate and everything. It's just nice to rest your mind. And it's been weird seeing English money again, or UK money.
So when you left, you had what, was it 6,000 miles on the car when you left?
Yeah, I mean we've done just over 9,200 miles now.
Wow. So, and the car, in terms of, because it's been battered, isn't it? It's not been just 9,000 miles on perfect tarmac. No. I mean, even we thought the bad roads were going to be in Kazakhstan, but I mean, even Azerbaijan has some pretty bad potholed roads. We've got some bad pothole roads here.
We do indeed. But yeah, I mean, you probably saw from our Instagram that one of them I was stood in, it came well above my waist. So yeah, there was some pretty bad potholes. Yes. But I mean, we've threw this car through the worst that we can. We did the worst road in Kazakhstan that we could find. Wow. And it's just breezed through it. What
you can't see actually is there's a haze of dust and sand and dirt that's sort of enground into the car.
This is it clean. We've cleaned the inside of this car quite a few times now, but you just can't get rid of Kazakh dust. You can't get rid of it.
It's everywhere, isn't it? It's in all the nooks and crannies, and it certainly had some wear. You can tell that it's had some life.
But no, it's been good. It's like I say, it's good being back in the UK.
Yeah.
I mean, we could have just kept going and kept travelling forever, but reality kicks in. You've got to come home. So
yeah.
But it is also nice to be back because we can go back and see family and get back to the real world, and it is nice, like I say, it is nice to be back and get some of those creature comforts again.
How in terms of charging, because the biggest problem for you that I could foresee would be actually the car. In terms of reliability, you're not going to have any problems.
Yeah.
Most of the people in the Mongol Rally break down, don't they? But actually, that was never really a question for you in a Leaf. But actually, refueling, I mean, charging in the middle of nowhere. How did you get over that, and where did you charge? And we saw some pictures on the Instagram plugged into a pylon in the middle of a field, which I looked and thought that does not look altogether health and safety conscious and safe.
No, yeah, I mean, we did a little bit of groundwork, as we mentioned in our last interview. We did a little bit of groundwork with the state petrol company in Kazakhstan, Kazmanigas, and the company Kazpost. So we did a little bit of work up front, but that was literally in certain locations. So we still needed to make it to those locations.
Okay.
But literally, we were just relying on the kindness and the goodwill of anybody in the little towns we passed. So we'd plug in, we turn up to a little town, and we'd see a cafe that we were going to stop off and maybe have some food at. Yes. So we just say, look, while we're eating, can we plug in here? You know, 2-pin plug. Yeah. And you would just in the end, you would just show them the plug on the end of the cable, because they have never seen an electric car before. Don't know what you're talking about, and the language barrier. Yeah. And 9 times out of 10. Everybody was kind of quite happy just to let you plug in.
Oh, that's good.
Because they wanted to know about it, they wanted to know what we were doing and why we were there, and they kind of got it. And then it was kind of like we'd sit there for 5 hours in a cafe, but we'd quite happily charge.
So what speeds were you charging at? So this is a 6.6, but I'm guessing you were just on like a granny cable.
Yeah, granny cable. As soon as we hit, there was a couple of fast chargers in Turkey, in Renault dealers.
Okay.
And outside of the Renault dealers, outside of those, we were covering 180, 200 mile stretches where we were on a granny cable.
Wow. And
as soon as we hit Georgia, there was one charger in Georgia, but after that we were basically granny cable all the way to Leonid in Russia.
Wow. Wow.
So
in terms of average mileage between charges, what would you say? What was your shortest and what was your longest? Can you remember that?
Our longest was 115 miles.
Okay, so that
was 115 miles, and that was doing conservative speed. But we were always going really. I would say our average was about 85 miles between charges.
Okay, so a good stint.
Yeah, and we would stop sometimes 50 miles down the road, or 60 miles down the road, but generally we would do about 80 miles, and that was because we know we had a bit of battery left to go to another town or a petrol station down the road or whatever it be. So
you see, that is really brave, because it's in the UK you're almost sure, and no language barrier, you can literally knock on somebody's door. But in Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, did you go to Azerbaijan? Azerbaijan, or somewhere else that ends in on, you've really got a language barrier.
But
it's not going to be the easiest to just knock on someone's door and say, can I plug in?
We were really worried, because I mean, going in these countries for the first time, we were quite worried. But after you got that initial in the country, met the first people, got a charge, people were so lovely, you just kind of relaxed after that. And although we did have a couple of people that said, look, no, you're not charging it, kind of go away kind of thing, but that was very rare. We were just so at ease with going up and just asking for a charge.
So people were friendly. That's nice.
And it was basically, it wasn't just the fact that they give you a charge, it was then, right, you're hungry, here's, come and have some soup, come and have some food, here's a cup of tea, and all that kind of stuff.
I did see that. Did you stayed in a policeman's house, didn't you, one night?
We stayed in a garage owner's.
A garage owner's, that was it,
And then in Russia we stayed in a fire station. The local fire station just said, well, no, you can't sleep in your car, come and sleep in the bunkhouse with us.
You see, that wouldn't happen here.
No.
That wouldn't happen here.
Too many rules and regulations in that sense.
And to the left here, Chris. Wow, that's really good hospitality, which made your... Oh no, sorry, we just go straight on. That's amazing, and that makes it a lot more viable. And that's nice and reassuring.
I mean, we know that people aren't going to do what we do, and you can do it every day.
Yes.
So, but we were just proving to people that electric vehicles aren't just city cars, and we all rely on these big nice shiny boxes and go, oh, if that's down we can't get on with our day. But realistically, unless you're doing a long distance trip, that's when you rely on a big rapid charger or whatever. Generally you're going to charge at home.
That's the thing, actually. When you look at petrol stations and the way people refuel, they have to refuel away from home. They can't refuel at home. So for the most part, I, like you, will charge at home. And I use the supercharger network very infrequently. It's a rarity that we use it, but it's nice when we do use it. But it's rare. So for us, anything under 100 miles is that we're charging at home. So it really does put a different sort of a picture for people driving EVs than driving internal combustion, and I think people need to change their habits a little bit. Don't they?
Exactly. I think a lot of people rely on the rapid charging network before because it was free. And especially up in Scotland, when it's still being free, people use it a lot more than what they will do when they start charging for it. So charging habits, I think, will change, but I think for a lot of people as well, they just want the charger to work when they get there. But at the end of the day, charging at home is what the vast majority of us do.
I can hear a bit of noise on the roof from your roof rack, from that huge wheel and other things whistling away. What did that do to your range? In terms of, what would you expect to get from this as everything stripped off it, back seats back in, suspension lowered?
To be honest with you, I think I've actually got the expected range. Because of the speeds that we were doing, we're not hitting the heights of the 70 pluses, really, unless we're going downhill and we're in neutral. But I didn't find any issues with the range. I mean, we did 115 miles on one charge, and we got there with about 6% left. So I would expect to get that out of the car normally, and that's chatting with our good friend Jonathan, who knows these cars a lot better than what I do as well. But he was saying, oh, you could get about 115 miles out of it, and we did. And that's with a roof rack. So, and a lot of the work I did with the guys RML who did the modifications for us, they were saying, really, unless you're hitting your 70s pluses, it's going to have no impact, really. It's negligible.
Well, they're the guys that know, aren't they? It's true. I think over 60 miles an hour, every 10 miles an hour you put on, increase in loss is huge.
Yeah.
It goes up at an angle like that.
Yeah.
So what would you say your average speed was? Mainly, I suppose it depends on the state of the roads.
Yeah, and I mean, like the west side of Kazakhstan, we were driving at 30-40 mile an hour.
Yes.
And that's just because we were driving through dust and dirt.
Yes.
But in general, we were sticking to about the 50-55.
Okay. That's optimal speed, really,
yeah.
isn't it? I think didn't Jonathan say 52 miles an hour or something to be
Yeah.
exact?
Yeah.
What about sleeping? Because I know you didn't have a tent. You have a tent, or
We had a tent.
You had a lean-to or something.
Yeah, we had a tent, and while we were in Europe, we charged at campsites and slept at campsites using the tent.
Yeah.
But we didn't really have that option in a lot of like Azerbaijan, Georgia, Kazakhstan, Russia.
Okay.
There's not really a good camping scene there.
No.
with nice campsites and things. But so
Toilets. And,
the key thing for us was charging
Yes.
while we slept.
Right.
So we basically slept here. So
in the
yeah.
What?
So basically, Panda's bed is where you're sleeping right now.
Okay.
So we just slept. We just charged the car at a petrol station or a cafe or wherever we were, and just reclined the seats back.
How did you
slept.
recline the seat? I'm looking.
We moved the bags out of the way.
Okay.
And just got as much recline as we could. And in some cases, you were sleeping quite upright.
Oh no.
And that was it. And the thing was, a lot of people think, well, you're charging for 12 hours,
Yes.
so you got plenty of sleep. Why were you tired? But the fact is, when you're reclined and you're at a petrol station, and the petrol station's got a constant flow of people who are going, "What the hell's that?"
Yeah, yeah.
And everybody wanted to kind of, you've got hands all over the car and banging on the car, and people just wanted to chat to you. So
that's one thing actually I found from being in the Middle East and other parts of Europe. People are very inquisitive.
Yeah.
And they want to know, and it's not rudeness. We'd say it's rude here.
They're not shy at coming forward.
No, yeah, and it's just the way that people are. They're different, aren't they? So I can imagine you just lying there with saliva dripping out your mouth and somebody tapping on the
There's just faces on the window, and it was just we were lucky to get a few hours sleep. So we were going 20+ hours days, and it was just it was quite exhausting.
Wow. Oh, fantastic. I'm completely jealous of it. I really am. Really.
I mean, we would recommend it to anybody. It's some of the most tiring, exhausting days of your life, but you have some amazing experiences, and it opens your eyes to what's out there in the world, and just how nice people out there are in the world.
Yeah. This is, just to let you know, this is a bit of a Grand Prix here. Both these lanes go straight on, just so you know. Eco mode off. That's a Nissan Duke just there.
Okay.
See how he gets on.
He's aging.
Yeah. Nowhere near.
He's still there.
My word.
See you later.
Motorbike rear view mirror.
And that's still what I love.
Yeah.
People go, it's only 109 horsepower, but it moves.
It's the torque, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, if anybody wanted to top what you and Julie have done, really, they've got to do it in a G-Wiz or an older Nissan Leaf. So
I wouldn't even. It's not even. A lot of people said, "How can people beat you?"
Yeah.
People can't beat what you've done. It's like, we don't really want people to beat what we've done. We just want people to do what we've done, because if people go and do the Mongol Rally in an electric car, good on them. Kudos to them. I would love to see them do it, and get on with it, because
you can do it right here, Chris.
yeah.
It's roundabout.
And then basically, it's going to change. One, the Mongol Rally.
That's left, right.
Oh. In Kazakhstan, it's right. No, we're joking.
Yeah.
People will go and do the Mongol Rally in an electric car. I just think it'd be brilliant, because that's what we hope to do, is inspire people to do the Mongol Rally in electric vehicles, and just get people doing it in a more sustainable way. But I think I would tip my hat to them, because honestly, it's the feat that we did is more the fact of we completed it within the open and closing period of the start and finishing lines. Although you can take as long as you like.
Yeah.
We left on the 16th of July. We finished by the 9th of September.
What was
56
the window?
days.
What was the window from the start to the finish? In fact, where did you finish in terms of other people and other teams?
We finished just over. It was like the early 200s. I can't remember the exact number.
Okay.
But there was over 290 teams that basically set out to do it in the end. And we finished, I think it was somewhere around about 215, 219, something like that. There was still a good 50 cars on the road trying to finish the rally while we had finished.
Oh, you see, that on its own, So these guys are running on petrol and diesel, I assume.
Yeah.
Petrol and diesel. And you've still got ahead of them, and you've been stopping for 10, 12 hours to charge at petrol stations. And do you think that's just down to organisation? Because it can't be down to speed. It can't be. It must just be that actually were they not very good at navigating than you were?
It's just, I think there's a lot of people out there as well that are kind of going, we're going to go and do this and have a good few months. Okay. So there's a combination of that as well. Yeah. But there are teams that were just trying to make the finishing line, and they just couldn't do it because the cars were just breaking down all the time.
I remember you saying actually that it's not a race. Everyone thinks rally, bullet a gate, and go for it, and actually it's not about that. So, but I think finishing where you finishing, I think for a start, but finishing where you finished is remarkable, and just what you've gone through is just. I can't see anybody could top it. I just can't see anybody could top it. Not that they want to.
Yeah.
But do you think that if you could have done this in a 40 kilowatt hour Leaf or a 60 kilowatt hour car, it would have made any real difference to you in terms of?
It would have been far easier.
Really? Okay.
And I wouldn't have done it because the thing is, I mean, like people have said, why didn't you do it in a Tesla? And I think if I can drive a whole day and not have to worry about charging till the end of the night, I have missed all the experience because we had to stop at all these little towns and villages along the way, and that's what made the adventure.
Yes.
And effectively that was a challenge, and it wouldn't have proved anything going and driving an electric car that's got such a big battery.
Yes.
Because if we had a bigger battery, then yes, we're demonstrating that these cars can go out and do longer distances, but you can do that because you've got a bigger battery. If you've got a shorter range battery, then imagine what you can do with a bigger battery.
Yes, yeah. That said, actually, that's quite important because it's not a race; it's a rally. And it's that time to stop and see the towns. If you're just driving the whole time, I can imagine that there must have been teams out there who just finished in literally no time and didn't see any of the towns. And so I see where you're going with that. But then also by using a Tesla, they're not the cheapest car on the road, are they? Let's be honest.
And again, that's the thing is if we can do this in a car that people can go out and buy tomorrow, and it's affordable, then that again is the other point.
Absolutely.
And so literally, really, the only thing we've done is taken the back seats out and raised the suspension.
Yes.
So it's just a Leaf.
It is a Leaf. It's absolutely the same Leaf, bar the battery size that we had.
Yeah, we're basically going to be home. Well, by the time we get back to Aberdeen, it's going to be another few more days.
Oh, okay.
And it's kind of weird. Sorry, I'm just watching the lights, but it's kind of weird. Because we've been away for over 3 months.
Yes.
And that's the thing. It's kind of thinking, wow, it's been 3 months.
Yeah, it's a long time.
All the mail that builds up.
Oh, yeah.
And that's literally, we kind of go home and go, yeah, it's great, we're home. Right, what do we? Oh, right, we've got all the admin to do. So it's kind of, we can't even kind of relax and chill out because you've got all that other aspect to deal with. And I think looking forward to, I'm not thinking about what I'm going to do next in terms of, other adventures or work or anything. I think it's kind of just thinking about what I'm going to do when I get home to kind of just get our home life organised again and getting back into normality.
Yeah. We've
joked that because we've slept in this car so many times that we're going to get to drive and we're going to be in the house and chill out and everything. It's time to go to bed. It's like, well, we need to sleep in the car and maybe just gradually wean ourselves back into our bed.
Yeah.
And saying that, we'll probably just go home and go straight into bed and go, oh my god, a nice bed.
I think so. I'll be getting yourselves a nice massage and a jacuzzi and giving yourself some pampering.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. So what's your overall big plans when you've got home, you've readjusted to normal civvy life? You've readjusted to your normal life as it was, and you get back into the routine. Where do you want to be? What do you want to do? What's your aim?
Honestly, I'm still figuring out in my head.
Okay.
If I'm being honest, it really is go home and just let it all sink in.
Okay.
Because we never envisaged the amount of media interest and media storm that it's been, and that's been really difficult to get our heads around. Have
you got any other media bits and bobs planned? Have you got anything to do?
Yeah, we have got something. We have got something. As mentioned, we were in the CNN studios when we were in London, So we have got something kind of going on with CNN, and that'll be coming out in November.
Okay.
So I can't really say too much more about that, but yeah, we do have some kind of little work going on with CNN.
Oh wow.
Which would be quite cool.
Good. Yeah.
And that's saying it's all these things that are still kind of happening. So it's kind of hard just to kind of. I think we've got to go home and just let our brains adjust to normality.
Normality.
Really. Yeah, it really is, and it's kind of when you're put in that situation, or with all this kind of media storm.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird that you just kind of float along on that kind of like, oh, this is happening, that's happening.
Yes.
And now our bodies kind of just need to go, oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Let's go back to work.
It's weird. Yeah. And it is. It's like, yeah, we've got to get a day job now, and it's kind of. So I think we just need to kind of like let ourselves adjust a little bit.
Do you think maybe hopefully something to do with the EV world market? Yeah. That's where you want to be.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to. I think for me now, it's kind of working in what's my passion. But in reality, it's whatever pays, isn't it?
Yeah, it's true.
We've all got to live.
Yeah.
We've all got to bring in the salary. So it's whatever pays at the moment, really.
I think it's fair to say that you've got a passion, haven't you? I mean, it's not every day somebody.
Well, just like you guys.
Yeah. I think your passion slightly outweighs most other passions, though. I think if there's a couple of people who have got passion that I know of. There's you. There's Jonathan.
Yes.
Bjorn.
He's
got a passion, and a few other YouTubers, and I think that they really have got a passion for EVs, and they're the people who need to be working in the EV market. Jonathan already does, and very successfully, and he's got quite a good name for himself. Actually,
he is.
He's getting very big.
I'm so pleased for him because I mean, it's just as you say, he has got a passion, but he's got a passion for his business, but he's got a passion for every other business out there that's wanting to kind of make the world better.
Yes, definitely.
Like Zaffi and everything that you guys have got.
Oh, Zaffi, I forgot about that.
He's such a big advocate of Zaffi, and I've got to say, even then, he's not benefiting from it in any way.
No.
It's just because he just loves to see like people do well and bring in business in the renewables.
Yeah, so, I think that's a great idea, and
I love him.
That company has my energy, and Jordan and that team, I think, will do very, very well, very successfully. Don't go in the bus lane.
No.
I got a ticket. I got a ticket. There's a camera just tucked back up there. Yeah. £30.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, EVs should be allowed in the bus lanes.
Yeah, that's true. They should have like a bus lane or a green lane like they're doing in California.
That was a great thing when we parked in London, by the way, because in London, I go left.
Yes, just follow the traffic.
So in London, we parked in London, and you pay for the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's a 4-hour maximum stay.
Yeah.
But you pay for your first 10 minutes, and after that, the rest is free. So it costs me 86 pence to park in London city centre.
Because you're an EV?
Yeah.
Okay, and what if I was driving that Kia Sportage diesel there?
I can't remember how much it was an hour. I can't remember how much it was an hour. I've been making up a number, if I'm being honest. I can't remember how much it was. But
we'd like
in fact,
to think it's something outrageous.
I think it was something outrageous, like about $4.50 an hour.
Wow.
So, but we charged for 10 minutes, 86 pence.
Yeah.
That's for plug-in hybrids, and we were just off Pall Mall.
Well, how do they know that you're not just saying you're in an EV? You might rock up in that Kia Sportage, but you've got the registration for it.
Yeah. So you do it on the online pay in terms of like using your phone up with the automated system, give them your registration number, and then when the parking wardens come around, they basically know it's electric or plug-in hybrid or whatever it be.
Yeah. So there's no getting around that. You can't just say, give the registration of your wife's Nissan Leaf while you park your Ferrari. Yeah. Okay.
No, but I mean, as expensive as London is, I think it's great. 86 pence to park in the city centre of London.
Completely agree.
It's great. Loved it. Spin to neutral and coast all the way down.
Yeah. Do you know? I can see a real difference in the range that this is doing.
It was strange because I thought, I need to be careful with it, and there was times where I did kind of just hammer up hills and not really worry too much.
Yeah.
And it didn't, I didn't lose any more battery than what I normally would do. And obviously a lot of it's got to do with the terrain, but the car, there's sometimes when you expect it not to perform as it to use more battery, but it just doesn't.
It is very impressive. I can see a real difference between what the 24 does and what a 30 does, and especially with all the weight in. And then you're saying actually the weight didn't really make that much difference.
No. I reckon. I mean, if I got it out and I get a little bit more out of it once we clear all the weight and everything out. But I think the bigger thing will be the performance, as in the speed.
Yes.
I reckon it would take off, and well, in fact, when I had it with nothing in it, it does take off a lot quicker.
It's a Leaf.
Yeah. It does take off a lot quicker because it's a lot lighter. Because all this weight, what we've got in the car, is probably a good 60 odd kg in there at least.
Yeah.
But when you have all that out and you've got the seats out, which reduces it by 34 kg.
I think. Do you think the new Leaf is something that will appeal to you in terms of?
Oh yeah.
It does appeal to you.
Does indeed.
We've had this discussion, haven't we?
We have. And then they said, oh, the Nismo version is going to be at the prototype Nismo version is going to be at Japan.
Okay.
Tokyo Motor Show.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I want one of those now. But you know, it definitely is. They've done a lot of work. When I was there, they were talking about they've done a lot of work on the aerodynamics.
Yes.
And that's one thing that this car lacked. So they've basically done a lot of work on the aerodynamics, so you can get better range out of the battery.
Yeah.
But the whole overall look, as we were talking about earlier on, is people will now go into the Nissan showroom and go, oh, I like that.
Yes.
And then go, oh, it's electric.
Yes.
Because it just looks, and I know this looks like a car, but it just looks like a normal, everyday, regular kind of Nissan range car.
That is so true.
And it looks really nice. And inside as well, the interior, although this interior is great,
Yeah.
they've kept the overall look of the Leaf inside, but they've just made it look a lot nicer, and they've took a lot more care over the detail and attention inside, which I think is really good.
That's one thing actually that I've not seen in detail like you have, because I saw one admirer, a green one, and it's fair to say that everything was covered over in cloth.
Yeah.
It was draped over.
Yeah.
And it was in a hideous colour. The green colour was just maybe to not draw attention to it, and the badges were removed.
Yeah.
But yeah, the interior I think is important if you do the right angle. With this car, thinking how many they've sold, and it's not a great looking car, is it? It's grown on me, but it's not.
Yeah.
Think just how many they'd sell if it was a good looking car, and I think the new Leaf is definitely that.
Well, they released, because as you might know, but the first edition they're releasing is going to come out in two colours. One of them being the one that I saw, which is all white with a black roof and black kind of boot lid.
Okay. How does that look?
It looks sweet.
Yeah.
It looks really nice.
Good.
And so they're launching a a Leaf 2.0.
Yeah.
So that's going to be, it's going to come with a standard trim, a few of the tech and the kind of features, but not everything. Bose sound system, all that kind of stuff. And you could buy that in a choice of two colours, and that's it. And that's going to be out for now. And then they're going to release later on next year. They're going to release the whole Tecna trims. So they launched that in Norway.
Yeah.
Before anywhere else.
Yeah.
Obviously, being Norway the EV capital.
Yeah.
And
no, that's Orkney, EV capital.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Orkney's the EV capital. Norway,
the second EV capital. Yeah. Because Orkney overtook it.
Yeah.
And they sold 1,600 in the first couple of weeks in Norway.
Wow.
So the first place the first place really to get hold of the new Leaf and take delivery, I think it's going to be Norway. Just
here on the right.
So and like I say, 1,600. Yeah, 1,600 sold within a couple of weeks.
Wow, that is incredible.
And that's the thing. I think again from a Jonathan perspective, I think the good thing from him is he's going to find a lot of like 30 kilowatts and a lot more 24 kilowatts hitting the second-hand market.
Yes.
Because everybody's going to be going to a 40 kilowatt.
Yes, I think so. Chris, well done. Massively impressed.
Thank you very much.
And thanks for taking the time to talk to us.
It's amazing to see you again.
Yeah, and I'd like to drive the Leaf. I'll do that later.